Okay, welcome, Chief Kingdom. If you tuned in last time, you've seen that we ranked on our tier list the wide receivers. So today we are coming back at you, and we're going to rate the edge rushers as promised. I feel like edge rusher is probably the next big position of need on our board. Wouldn't you say, Steve?
Yeah, everybody's freaking out about the edge rushers, so I think this might even be more important than the receivers.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think an edge is something I believe we're going to see it in this video, but I believe you'll see that the talent drastically drops after like round 2.5 to 3. So I think Kansas City's
Yeah.
going to have to grab one early, but we're going to see that, and we'll just jump right into it. Is
All
that
right, let's do
is that
this.
cool?
Let's go
Okay,
ahead.
man. Okay, so I'm going to just start throwing up the players that we know is a definite round one pick. So I think definite round one pick, we go with Aiden Hutchinson. We all know he's definite round one. If I can find the dude, there he is.
He's hiding from you.
Yeah.
There he is with his little Ultimate Warrior face paint.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior had him blended into the
All
background.
right, cool.
So
Okay. Also, first round, Jermaine Johnson. He's about to go
yeah,
up
for
there.
sure. I think if I had to choose next, I'd probably go Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, he might even be higher than
Oh
Jermaine.
yeah, I think he's higher
Yeah.
than Jermaine. So I'll go ahead and move him.
So after him, I would think
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. Yeah.
I actually think
Thibodeau.
Jermaine Johnson's actually more valuable than Thibodeau right now. I'm reading
Really?
reports that Thibodeau may slide into the late half of the first round.
I don't
Very
know about
strange, but I'm
that. I
hearing
don't know
that.
about it. We'll see.
I think they're blowing smoke. I think it might be that thing, but it's possible.
Could be. Also, Karloftis. I think Karloftis is a first rounder.
Yeah, I think Karloftis is a definite first. Is he a late first? I think some
No,
people would say he don't have the burst, but I honestly think he's a top 20 pick.
I think he's round one for sure. So now I think
Okay.
we can probably blend into the late first round, early second rounders.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. And I think the first one I probably throw up is probably Boye Mafi.
Boy, Mafi. David Ojabo, even though he's hurt, I still think he might get that late first round. If not, it's definitely gonna be early second. So
Yeah, I hear
put him
that
up
one.
there.
I think Ojabo, even with the injury, some teams got to take a shot on him. But, he was kind of raw anyway. He had that raw. So not only is he going to sit a year, but his technique and stuff still wasn't perfect. So you
Right.
are going to have to be patient with him.
But a lot of talent there.
Right. And I think Arnold Ebiketie actually moving into the late round, early second now. A lot of buzz
Possibility.
on
I would say
Ebiketie.
he's probably going to be an early second rounder anyway. So let's put him in that category.
Yeah, I think
Another person that might fit this one. I don't know. You might prefer him in just straight round two, but Kingsley Inagbare from South Carolina. I think he has potential to go high second round.
some Inagbare is one of those players that you either love him or you hate him. I don't think there's a mix on Inagbare.
I
Like,
don't
because
think
some people they just
he did,
don't think he's got the quick twitch.
he didn't impress everybody at the combine, but if you look at his tape, I mean he's
I think I would
solid.
throw Inagbare into round 2. He's a
Okay.
definite round 2, but I don't know if he gets to the top 10 picks. Do
Okay.
you think?
I think he could, but I think you're safe putting him in round two. Just round two.
Right. And I'm going to throw Nick Benito into round 2 as being safe. I think he's a top 45, 50 player for sure.
He should be for sure.
Oh,
Let's
I think I've got him on my big board as like number 40 or 41. So he's up there for me.
All right. Do you see anybody else on this list that you want to put into round
As a
two?
round 2 definite, that's not late. Let me see. Maybe Cam Thomas from San Diego State, I would consider.
Let's go late
But
two,
I think
early
he
three
could be
with
a
him.
late 2, early 3 with
Let's
him.
do that with him.
And I think if you're going to do that, I think now you're also entering the mix for Sam Williams. I think that's a perfect spot for Sam Williams.
Josh Pascal.
I think you like Pascal a lot more than a lot of people.
If you want to do solid three on him,
I would put Pascal as a solid round 3. I don't
you don't
know if
think
he
it'd be
can
early
clip.
round three?
I
think
just
it could
don't
definitely be early
know
round three.
who likes him and who don't, because they're obviously, I've been reading things and they're saying that they think they're going to kick him down into the defensive tackle. They think
I don't
that
see it.
because they think he's too stocky.
Either
come off the
way, I think
edge.
he's definitely going to add some value to a roster. So, but I think round three is fair. I would
Right.
think that he's good enough to go early round three, but just to be safe, just round
I
three.
think Drake Jackson sits here, and I actually think Drake Jackson probably falls into this category. Late round 2, early round 3. Wouldn't you think that? Drake Jackson's pretty impressive. He's
I
one
would.
of the only guys that can set the edge and kind of hold it. And I think his playing weight actually come down for the combine, but I think he's going to put weight back on.
I think that's
I think it's fair.
it's fair. It'll work.
I think it's fair. So round 3, 4, what do you think? We got let me see. I'll just start naming them. Tyreek Smith from Ohio State. What do you think? Round 3, 4?
4.
Yeah, so he's here. Myjai Sanders. Now he could possibly be an early round 3, but I think he's solid round 3.
Yeah, I'd put him right there with Pascal probably. I like Pascal better than Sanders. I don't know. Sanders got the length.
Pascal's got the quick twitch.
I'd put him right there with put him with Pascal in round 3 there.
Yeah, I think Pascal's more of like your run stuffer, and Myjai's going to be like your situational pass rusher. But Myjai could put on a little bit of weight, I would think. So I like it as it sits. These are kind of just
they're give or take. Yeah,
like you don't know what teams are going to like these guys. So.
I think Isaiah Thomas, I think, is a 4th rounder or late 3rd round.
I actually like Isaiah Thomas a lot.
I do too. So I mean, he's definitely going to be late 3 to early 4. I would think.
I think Dominique Robinson is a 3 to 4. He impressed at the combine like big time. Come out of nowhere. He come out of Miami, Ohio, which I mean, don't get me wrong, they throw out some good prospects. So
yeah, I mean, it's not very popular opinion coming up here, but I think Amari Barno is a solid 4th rounder at least, if not late 3.
I would agree with that. And I think his 40 time being freakishly fast kind of helps him. He's really tiny. Like, I think he's going to get pushed around a lot, but that 40 time is going to be tough to overlook.
He's a speed rusher. He's like a little D Ford that maybe don't go off sides as much.
Right. I think D'Angelo Malone from Western has worked his way into the 3-4.
Yeah, I like D'Angelo Malone.
I honestly think Malone could go somewhere in here, but he is a situational guy. He's kind of like the Nick Benito guy late in the draft. Yeah. He's kind of like the Kayvon Thibodeau late in the draft. Like those are your kind of like comps here. Like your situational pass rushers. These guys aren't going to play 3 downs. Like Nick Benito, I love Nick Benito up here, but Nick Benito is not going to play all 3 downs. He's going to have to fit into a scheme where he comes in and just rushes the passer on 3rd down.
Yeah, I could see that. So let's see who else we got here. Michael Clemons, I think, could sneak into the 4th round or early 5th.
Well, this is the thing about Clemons that bothers me. I didn't know that he got arrested for a gun possession and actually had to serve suspension time at Texas A&M this past season.
He did, which makes his stats more impressive.
Right. But I believe with that coming, that may slide him to round 5.
Okay, yeah, but let's put him 5. I do think he's good enough to be a solid round 4 pick.
I honestly think he's around 3, round 4, but I think with his criminal history, unless the Chiefs take the shot on him, because we know we do that.
Yeah. So I think somebody that could sneak into round 4 because of his athleticism is Jeremiah Moon from Florida.
He actually ran a super fast, like 40 time. He ran a pretty fast 10-yard split and a 3-cone as well. I think he's a good athlete.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like a speed rusher off the edge if they use him on the edge. But he can also play a little bit of linebacker too. He's got that ability. So I think
I'm going to go ahead and throw his partner in crime from Florida, Zach Carter, on the board too. I think Carter actually played edge in college, but again, just like Pascal, they're saying that he may kick down into the inside and be a situational, from the middle.
I could see that with his big frame and everything.
Dude, him and Pascal are very like stocky. Yeah. They're very stocky builds. So I think as of round 4s, that might do it. Round 3s and 4s. I think rounding it out, it looks like Alex Wright from UAB. He could slide up the draft board. Like, don't get me wrong. Any of these guys that we're saying 5+, there may be a team that falls in love with them and thinks if they don't grab them in the 3rd or 4th, they're not going to get them. So this is not end all be all, but I think this is just how we would rank it.
I think it's pretty solid, honestly. Like what we've done.
Think Deshaun Dixon, Norfolk State, his production was good, not great, coming off of that quality of competition. So I think he kind of slides. I like Jamal Hines from Toledo. Let's be honest, I think he's probably up here at the top tier with Clemons. We got Tyree Johnson. We got he's a little guy. You know, Tyree, I've read that some scouts don't think he's much more than just a, you know, go blitz, rush the passer, just every, you know, he may get 10 to 15 snaps a game and that's all he can handle.
Right.
But I watched his film, and to be honest, between him and Clemons, those two terrorized SEC quarterbacks.
Yeah, they were good. They were both good. Big Cat, he's definitely five plus. I don't
Yeah,
even know
Big
if he'll
Cat
get
could
drafted.
probably,
Yeah.
you know, and he had a lot of potential coming out of UCF, and he followed the coach to Auburn, and I mean, he was okay. Like, don't get me wrong, I think people in Auburn liked him. I just don't know if it's going to translate super great to the NFL. Jeffrey Gunter, I like him. Again, Coastal Carolina, they were a top 20 team this year, and he caused some problems, but I just don't know if I like him enough to slide him above the 5th round. And that's going to round it out with Taylor Riggins from Buffalo, not to be confused with Riggins from Friday Night Lights. That's the fullback. What was his name?
Tim Riggins.
Tim Riggins. So this could be Tim Riggins' like cousin or something. I don't know. Buffalo puts out a few players here and there. You know, Khalil Mack. I mean, they know how to get to the passer up there in the what is it? Is it the MAC? I don't even know what Buffalo's conference is, to be
No
honest.
clue. No clue. So okay,
No
now
clue.
looking at this overall, so we got in place exactly where we think they're gonna be. Um, what do you think the Chiefs are looking for in a defensive end or edge rusher? Do you think they're wanting a speed rusher type? Do you think they want the long arms kind of guy like a Joshua Kando that Spags is familiar with, or do you think they're looking for top end? Do you think they might trade up and try to get a Jermaine Johnson, a Karlaftis, Thibodeau? Um, because personally, I think that they're that late round 1 to early round 2 and the round 2 guys. I feel like that's like those are the guys that I feel like they're going to target. With either it's a Ojabo and putting him, on the bench for a year, letting him recover, and also Ebiketie. I know they like him. A lot of people think that we're going to take Boye Mafe. I'm a personal fan of Nick Bonito, but I don't think that we will target Bonito just because he's more of the speed rusher type.
And that makes me sad because I really
Uh,
like him.
Now, I think if we go any of the late round guys, I think they might take a shot on one of the bigger guys like Josh Pascal. But other than that, I think that's where I think their head's at in the game. I think that they're looking for that late round 1 to round 2 guy for the edge.
Yeah, like I mean, Hutchinson, you're not ever going to get him. I think Jermaine Johnson's coming off the board too rich. I think Thibodeau comes off the board too rich. I'm hearing that if Trayvon Walker doesn't go top 5 to 6, he could possibly slide to the mid round to late round first. I actually seen a guy the other day that mocked him to us at pick 29 without us moving, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard.
I'd be ecstatic if that happened.
Dude, he was very adamant that he thinks that Trayvon Walker has got some fans and he's got some people that don't like him. So
I mean, that happens to guys. That does.
Yes. And I honestly think out of this top section, obviously Jermaine Johnson's probably the one that we would want the highest. But I do believe Walker, I would be super happy with. Karlaftis, I like Karlaftis personally as a player. I think he does everything you need. I don't know if on day one he's going to come in, he's going to be nothing more than just serviceable. Like, he don't play the run super tight, and he's not as twitchy as some of the other guys. Like Jermaine Johnson's way twitchier. Boye Mafe is more twitchy than Karlaftis, to be honest. So
right.
I like Karlaftis.
Okay, but Karlaftis,
if we traded up for Karlaftis, I think I would probably be. If we traded to the top 15 to get Karlaftis, I'd probably be a little bummed because I think that'd be too rich, in my opinion. Even though I love Karlaftis, I think that's too rich.
I feel like Karlaftis has got a very high ceiling, but he's also got a very low floor. So I feel like at low, he's going to be non-existent, right? Like, you're just like, crap, we spent the first round pick on this guy.
So you're saying basically if we pick him at 29-30, you're cool with it, but to trade up, you're not.
Right, because I think his ceiling, I think he's got a lot of traits of J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Just sheer power, getting into the backfield, just bull rushing people. So I think he's got a pretty high ceiling, but like I said, that floor is just as low. So it's a coin toss with Karlaftis.
So I'm gonna rank these on the way that if I was the Chiefs, this would be my board probably, because I know I'm not getting these two. So this would be the 3. I think everybody in this row here fits Kansas City great. I think Mafe fits well. I think Ebiketie has come on and he actually fits pretty well. They're like those thicker edge setting, ends. And Ojabo would probably be the one I don't think fits as well, but only because he's a little lankier. And I just don't know if yes, you could spend some of your extra capital on him because we have that luxury, but will they? I don't know. I think Veach and them want to win right now.
I do, but
I
they're
don't-
also preparing for the future, getting the team younger. So I feel like if they know they can get back Ingram on a 1 year, they might go ahead for Ojabo, because not only would he be recovering, but he'd also be studying behind a seasoned veteran like Melvin Ingram.
And Frank
So
Clark for a
right,
year. So I mean, Frank, he kind of
and
looks like Frank Clark here a little bit.
they have a connection there with the Michigan connection. Now I think the sneaky one that you have to watch out for is Kingsley Enagbare. I feel like he could fall into that Spags defensive prototype there, and I think a lot of people sleeping on him. So don't be surprised if they're targeting him because no one else is, and they think they see something. So
Right.
that'd be the one that like everybody might be surprised if they pick, but I wouldn't.
A lot of people like Enagbare because they say he produced well in the SEC.
Well, yeah,
I personally am not that thrilled with him. I think he gets washed out of plays a little too quick. He does have a high motor. Don't get me wrong. Like he does kind of remind me of something that he would like. Yeah,
they do. I mean, that's why they went after Frank Clark, because he's a high motor player. And another thing with Enagbare, he was at the very beginning was projected first round. He's fallen all the way into the mid second.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
so. Yeah, you're right with that one. I think that one is a dark horse pick, round 2 maybe. Like you mentioned before, I love Nick Benito. Do I think we'll probably spend capital that high just to have a situational pass rusher? Probably not, which kind of bumps me out because Benito's might be like my favorite out of the whole group. I just love him.
He's one of my favorites as well.
I think if you go down to this tier, late second, early third, I think Cameron Thomas and Drake Jackson do what we like from a Spags perspective. But I think Sam Williams is like one of my second or third favorites behind Nick Benito, because I like the way Sam Williams, he's got like a very fast, he's quick twitch. He's very high motor. I heard that Dallas loves him. Like they're comparing him to Micah Parsons. So like he's got teams out there that love him. And I like Sam Williams. I think he does what we need to do.
Right. All right, cool. So,
yeah, I don't see round 4 with Spags. I would see maybe Zach Carter, maybe Isaiah Thomas, maybe like you said, Pascal, because he sets the edge. I think Majai's a little too small. Tyreek Smith, possibly. I think some of these guys are too small. Barno's going to get pushed around. And then when it comes to round 5+, it's a crapshoot. So I'm not even going to comment on those.
Michael Clemons, I think that might be something, because with his history and the fact that it made him fall down the boards and he's actually really good.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have a round 5 pick, though. So if he don't fall to the 7th, we ain't getting him. We're either going to reach in the 4th or
that's correct.
You're not getting him.
You're right.
So I don't think we even have to talk about it.
No. I think we're good.
Okay,
here.
So I think that's going to wrap it up. If you guys like the video, be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Everything goes a long way. This is like our second video, so we're totally new. You guys can check out our podcast. It's on all major, anywhere you listen to podcasts, be it Spotify, Amazon, you name it. It's everywhere. Apple. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, places like that. We're at All Chiefed Up. And yeah, Steve, if you got anything to add, go for it.
No, just if you want, communicate with us, talk to us. We'll answer your questions. We might get you on the podcast, things like that. Just we're open for interaction with you guys. So hit us up on Twitter, TikTok, or YouTube. So
yeah. And next week we'll be back. We'll do this again next week, and we'll rank. What do you think, Steve? You want to rank corners, or do you want to rank something spicy? I think corners is probably a way to go with the Chiefs.
I think corners or linebackers, because I really feel like we might grab another linebacker.
You're right. Okay, so we'll do corners or linebackers. Hell, we might even do both. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.